So far, Lewis has only tested small amounts of what he calls dye-based cells in the lab. But the results are promising.
The dye-based solar cells, right now in some small test samples, are 10% efficient. Silicon cells, the best ones, are 20% efficient. So we have a ways to go, but are within shooting distance.
He still needs to get his magic goo cheaper. And he needs to see how it will hold up under real weather conditions. But even at 10% efficiency, solar paint could produce a whole lot of electricity at bargain basement prices. The most promising solar innovations are years away from becoming practical back on Earth. So some experts believe we should wait before more fully committing to solar power. But high in the Colorado Rockies lives a prominent energy expert who believes the solar technology we have now is good enough to be put to far greater use. Meet Amory Lovins. Beneath his mild demeanor lurks an acid-tongued critic of U.S. energy policy.
We do have a national energy policy. It's basically to keep wasting lots of energy, import it at whatever price and by whatever means are necessary, keep stealing from our kids, and keep screwing up the climate. You may think this is a senseless, immoral, and wasteful energy policy, and you'd be right.
A physicist by training, Lovins is appalled by the low priority given to developing new sources of energy.
The amount of research money going into energy, public and private, has shrunk several-fold at the time when we need it the most, and it's shrinking even further. This is just crazy.
He is universally recognized as one of our most creative thinkers about energy use and misuse.
It's cheaper to save fuel than to buy fuel. It's profitable. That's why smart companies do it like mad, to improve their bottom line.
His ideas help businesses make money by operating more efficiently. And he's not shy about his ultimate goal.
My biggest project is helping the United States get completely off oil by the 2040s.
One reason Lovins is so confident about changing our energy future is that he's done it here in his own house.
There are actually two different solar electric systems and a bunch of Chinese nickel wire batteries that store electricity for lighting and other uses at night. We have one meter for the electricity we buy, another for the electricity we sell, and the utility sends us a check for that one. And we don't lose much heat because the building is super insulated. All of our windows face more or less south. No doubt the archaeologists will conclude this was a temple to some primitive solar cult, which I guess is about right.
Everything in the house is energy efficient, even the pots and pans.
It's still pretty hot.
And he's designed a solarium that uses the sun for all it's worth.
Here in the middle of the house is an area I call the jungle. We've harvested here 28 banana crops, mango, papaya, loquat, passion fruit, grapes. We've had long iguanas teaching advanced lizarding, a little African pygmy hedgehog that runs around at night eating bugs. It's a really fun thing to have in the middle of your house, especially when it's lizarding outside and you come in and grab a tomato as you swing by. We're collecting in here heat, light, hot air, hot water, and photosynthesis.
Lovins is keenly aware of what solar energy, even in the raw, can provide. And he's pleased that many of us are finally catching up to him.
Solar power is the fastest growing source of energy in the world. In 2005, it was a $38 billion global industry growing 10% a year. So the solar revolution seems finally to be happening for real.
This is especially true for the 2 billion people who have had little or no access to grid electricity. Throughout India, Asia, and Africa, thousands of villagers begin to use inexpensive solar panels to charge batteries or electric lamps, so they can do things at night that were once difficult or dangerous. Here in the developing world, solar power is providing new opportunities for education and economic development, supplying electricity that can help societies modernize with renewable energy rather than fossil fuels. In the United States, California is leading the charge for more renewable energy. There's even a plan to get solar panels on 1 million roofs. But nationwide, solar power, even in combination with other renewables, will have to achieve a far greater percentage of our energy mix, probably as much as 20 to 30% over the next 2 decades, if we want to significantly reduce our CO2 emissions. So is this target realistic?
Solar and wind together currently produce less than 1%. I don't think in 20, 25 years it's going to be 20%. I don't see a growth curve like that.
I think it's fairly certain that by 2025 we might be getting 25% of our electricity from solar. That's realistic. That's not too far-fetched.
With such extreme perspectives, it's difficult to predict where our energy mix or our planet will be in 20 years. But if we wait until then and don't like what we see, will it be too late to do anything about it?
When I became a father, I really started to worry about the environment and the shape of the environment. With all the stuff in the news, I just felt, what is my son inheriting? My God, we're just making a mess of all this. Thinking back to the 70s, man, if everybody had started installing solar panels back then, we'd be in much better shape, really, for the future of the planet.
NOVA is a production of WDBH Boston. Major funding for NOVA is provided by David H. Oak and by the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, serving society through biomedical research and science education, HHNY. Major funding for this program is provided by the Lemelson Foundation, a philanthropy.
Solar power has long been effective for small since the gas crisis of the 1970s. And it's yet to make a serious contribution to the energy needs of the nation.
For decades, solar has been the energy of tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's also been a field of failed promises as well.
There's the obvious problem.
When the sun doesn't shine, it's not generating electricity.
And the cost.
Solar panels tend to be more expensive than fossil fuel resources.
But new technology, giant solar power plants, and innovative business models are beginning to take this clean energy source to the next level. But can